Hey guys, I'm Kendra Sommer and welcome to another episode of True Crime Commute. Did you know there are 28 million Uber rides completed every day, but not all of them go off without a hitch?
We're stepping into a vehicle of a total stranger who could harm you, who could wreck the car. And so there's an inherent vulnerability to these ride-sharing programs.
Today we dive into the terrifying case of Uber driver Jason Dalton, a man who claimed the Uber app was talking to him and telling him what to do. This chilling journey ended in the tragic loss of 6 lives. It's February 20th, 2016 in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Jason Dalton is an insurance adjuster by day and has just started a brand new side hustle driving for Uber. He started driving for the rideshare company to get a little extra cash for his family trip to Disney World. He grabs the keys, loads up his silver Chevy Equinox, and for whatever reason decides to bring his German Shepherd along too. His first Uber fare was a female college student who didn't want to get in the car because of the dog. Up next, Matt Mellon, he orders an Uber around 4 p.m. to go to his friend's house. Jason has decent reviews on Uber. Everything seems normal until it isn't. Mid-ride, Jason gets a call from his son asking about dinner, and after this phone call, his demeanor completely changes. He starts driving erratically, blowing stop signs, and just driving like a crazy person. And then eventually he ends up hitting another car, but he doesn't stop. He keeps driving. So this whole incident was like a scene from Grand Theft Auto, and Matt starts yelling, "Dude, you just hit that car. You just hit that car." Jason completely ignores this, and then Matt starts to panic and starts saying, "My friend's house is over here, my friend's house is over there," and tries to get out of the car. Finally, Jason stops the car, and Matt frantically gets out of the vehicle and dials 911. Matt wasn't the only one calling 911. Other drivers who had seen the crazy driving were also calling in reports.
911?
I was just in the car with my Uber driver. He was weaving in and out of lanes. He sideswiped the car. And,
Hey, what kind of car is it?
Chevy Equinox.
After dropping Matt off, Jason heads home. He goes down to his basement, opens his gun case, grabs his Glock 9mm, puts on his jacket, which has a bulletproof vest underneath, and heads back out. Just then, another Uber fare comes through, a girl named Macy. Jason isn't able to find her, so he ends up driving around the apartment complex, and they're never able to link up. As Jason's driving around the apartment complex, he runs into a woman, Tiana Carruthers, and he asks her, "Are you Macy?" She says no. He drives away and then quickly turns around and rolls down the window and starts shooting at Tiana and her children.
He just instantly was right in front of me. Like, I was this close to this man.
Tiana was hit 4 times. Miraculously, she survived. None of her children were hit. She got him to stop shooting by pretending to play dead. And then Jason speeds away, and upon doing that, he runs another light and hits another car. By this point, Matt Mellon, who was the original Uber fare, has called in to 911 and submitted a picture of Jason and given a vehicle description. So at this point, a manhunt for Jason is in full swing. Back home, Jason calls his wife. He tells her that he's been in an accident, a taxi has sideswiped him, and he's gonna need to switch cars. Jason then takes the family's black Chevy, tells his wife, "I'm not gonna tell you what I'm going to do, just watch the news." At 10 p.m., Jason's crime spree has escalated. He pulls into a Kia dealership and sees father and son duo, Richard and Tyler Smith. They're looking at trucks. He goes over to them and he opens fire. He ends up shooting them 16 times, killing both of them. Tyler's girlfriend was too cold. She stayed in the car. She ends up witnessing the full attack and ends up calling 911. Just 15 minutes later, Jason heads over to the Cracker Barrel and opens fire in the parking lot. Inside 2 parked cars sit 4 women, Mary Jo Nye, Dorothy Brown, Barbara Hawthorne, and Mary Lou Nye. The women had just enjoyed dinner and seen a show together, and they were back at the parking lot saying their goodbyes. Jason approaches the car, asks Hawthorne a question, and then within a minute, all women are killed. Hawthorne pushed down 14-year-old Abigail Koff. Hawthorne protected her. Abigail was able to survive, although she did have grave injuries. Jason drives off again and the hunt intensifies. As police flood the streets, they issue a social media post letting everybody know that there's an Uber driver who's shooting people and hurting people on the loose. But it's a busy Saturday night and Jason continues accepting Uber fares. He picks up passengers from Western Michigan University, and the passengers nervously joke, "Are you the shooter?" And Jason answers saying nope. Police spot Jason dropping passengers off. They start to tail him, and they end up pulling him over. When officers do approach the car, Jason doesn't resist. In fact, he's still wearing the jacket that he purchased from the gun store earlier that day with the bulletproof vest. A handgun is tucked into the back of his waistband, and he's arrested on spot. Jason tells police that the Uber app had taken over his body and that the app's logo represented Satan. He claims after pressing the button on the app that he was no longer in control. So what made Jason Dalton, an ordinary family man, snap? He was married to his loving wife of 20 years, had 2 kids, worked as an insurance adjuster, loved cars and guns, and showed no signs of violence. His victims were random. His motive is still a mystery. Even Uber's chief security officer released a statement saying, "We are horrified and heartbroken at the senseless violence in Kalamazoo, Michigan." On January 7, 2019, Jason Dalton pled guilty to all charges. Thanks for watching True Crime Commute. If you have story suggestions for us, email us here. And I'll see you on the next one.